Performing in a big space like this can be slightly daunting, and doing a live show or concerts can be stressful, exhausting, or sometimes even slightly terrifying. But with the right preparation, live shows can be exciting, exhilarating, and immensely rewarding. So here are the top things that I do to prepare for a big live performance. So the first one is very, very obvious, and it's practice, practice, practice. When I was at school, I played a lot of football, and our football coach always used to say, practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. And that's always stuck with me. And the idea behind that was that, yes, mistakes are going to happen occasionally, and so you can't expect it to be absolutely perfect. Ideally, it would be perfect and there'd be zero mistakes, but instead, if you want to make things permanent, you just want to practice as much as possible so that if things go wrong, you're still confident enough in the piece and confident enough to know what you're doing. And you know the piece so well that even when a little error or little falter happens or something unexpected happens, you're ready to deal with it because you know the pieces so well. The second thing that I do is I work out in the hours before a big performance. So music, like sport, is a very, very mental game, and you'll often find that when you're relaxed and there's no real pressure, you are able to play pieces very, very easily. But when you get into a pressure situation, it becomes much more difficult. So it's about keeping the mental calmness so that when you get into these pressure situations, you're not fazed by them. And one thing that helps me do that is working out. So I go to the gym in the hours beforehand. So I'll either do some boxing, I'll do some cardio, or I'll do some weightlifting. Doesn't really matter what. I'm just getting my body moving. I'm trying to sweat. I'm trying to work really intensely to get all the stress out, because obviously you're going to get the dopamine receptors, you're going to get those neurotransmitters running, and you're going to feel much calmer after that intense workout. Even going away, when I'm traveling and performing away from home, I will make sure that I book a hotel, even if it's a bit more expensive, that has a gym, so that I can ensure that on the day of the performance I have done a workout and I'm mentally ready. The third thing is to simulate pressured environments. So this relates to the second point, which is that you're put into a pressured situation that you might not be familiar with. So what you want to do is simulate that pressured environment as much as possible before the actual concert happens. So a good way to do that is to either record yourself playing or to film yourself playing. And I'm now used to playing with cameras around a lot. I've done it lots now. I've done it over the past 12 months, many, many times. But even just setting your phone up and doing a recording so that you're going to listen back to it later, or setting your phone up and filming like a TikTok or something, so that, and saying to yourself, I'm going to post a clip from this. So it has to be concert ready. And that's going to be really, really helpful because you're in that pressure situation where people might not be listening in person, but you know that there's the need and necessity to get things right. Moreover, if you can have a practice concert, so if you can have like a smaller recital or playing pieces through at different events prior to the big concert, then you're going to be well prepared because you've already played them in a pressured environment. So if I have a big concert coming up, if I'm playing a mass here on a Sunday, for example, I'll pick one of the pieces that I'm playing at the concert and play that for the voluntary beforehand or afterwards, because at least then I've got some experience already of playing it when other people are listening to me. So then when I come to playing it in the concert, I know I've already played this very, very well in that kind of performance environment. So number 4 is to realise that people are there to listen and enjoy your music. They're not there to listen to your mistakes, and they're not listening for every mistake. So this is something that I've kind of accepted more and more as I've performed more and more over the last 12 months. I had a concert in March in Bath. It was a piano concert, and someone came and spoke to me afterwards and said, if you want to relax a bit more, because he could tell that I looked a bit nervous, and obviously that was probably only my 3rd or 4th concert of the year and I was still getting into the groove of performing. He said, if you want to relax a bit more, try and remember that people are here to see you, they enjoy your music, they're here to enjoy your music, they're not listening for mistakes, they're not here to catch you out. And that kind of put my mind at ease slightly, because it's easy to go into a concert thinking, you know, the audience is listening out for all your mistakes and looking for where you're going to go wrong, but that's just not how it works. That's just not why they're there. They're there to enjoy themselves and have a good time, and obviously you want to make sure that the music is as high quality as possible. They've paid to come and see you, and you need to ensure that what they're listening to is of the highest quality, but at the same time you need to put your own mind at ease by understanding that if there is a mistake or two in a piece, they're not going to notice it. They're not going to be listening there thinking, oh, when's the next mistake coming, or there was a mistake there. They just want to enjoy the piece of music. They want to have a enjoyable experience, and that's not going to be something they're going to be focusing on. I genuinely believe that performing is a mental game as well as a physical game. Obviously, you've got to get the notes right. You've got to be well prepared. As I said in number 1 is practice, but that's the basics, right? Everyone knows that you need to go and practice. You need to make sure everything is airtight. The rest comes when you actually go and perform under the lights. And they talk about that in boxing. Floyd Mayweather said, you know, it's not about what you do in sparring, it's about what you do under the lights. So you can be playing perfectly in practice sessions, but then if it comes to the concert and you crumble, then that's what really counts at the end of the day. So you've got to be able to show up and perform under the lights in that performance. So that's why I think it's mainly a mental game, because, you know, everyone can play perfect pieces without that pressure, but it's the pressure that differentiates people. So I think that's the key thing, is building a mindset and a mental approach that is ready to face the pressure and not only withstand it, but actually thrive in it. And I think that's something that I've also tried to develop, is the anti-fragility of not only coping with the pressure and being like, I can do this, I can deal with this. It's like starting to enjoy it. So number 5 is enjoy the performance. And this is definitely something that comes with time and as you perform more and more. But I definitely think, again, it's a mental thing. You have to try and make a conscious choice to say, I'm going to enjoy this and I'm going to thrive off the pressure. The pressure makes me feel alive. It makes me realise this is something worth doing. If it was easy, everyone would be able to do it. That's also something to maintain, a mindset to maintain, that it has to be difficult, otherwise everyone will be doing it. There's a reason that not many people put themselves under that pressure, and that's a necessary step that you have to take. But then a step further is not just coping with it and actually dealing with it, it's actually enjoying it and thriving in it and realising, I want the pressure. Without the pressure, is it really worth it? Because that's what makes it exhilarating, that's what makes it exciting. If you didn't feel any pressure, you wouldn't actually get that buzz from the performance. And that's also something that is really, really enjoyable, is you've put all this work in, you've spent hours and hours and hours preparing these songs, preparing the music, preparing a show, and then you get there, and if you're just calm and you come off and be like, oh, is that it? Well, then that will just lose its joy very quickly. But yeah, in some ways I'd even say like live performance can become a bit of a drug, in terms of the high that you get afterwards is very, very intense, and there's not really much like it, to be honest. Putting hours into preparing something, the pressure that comes with it, and then it all paying off. It's a really fulfilling, enriching experience, and that's the price you've got to pay. You've got to be nervous. You've got to have that stress. So it's just part of the parcel now, and every time you do it, you become better and better. Number 6, and the final thing, is just do it as much as possible. Put yourself in as many situations to perform as possible. There's a book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and he talks about the Beatles and how they became really, really good as a band, because I think they got booked. I can't remember, it might have been Germany or the Netherlands. They got booked to play basically every night. It might have been multiple times a night for like 100 days, 200 days, maybe a whole year. And because of that time, they were performing so often, they just got really, really good, because they just did it again and again and again. So the first few times would be really, really scary, and they were for me. But then the more you do it, you just realise, oh, this is just how it is, and you get used to it, and then you become more confident. And then not only do you not feel as nervous, and you're actually looking forward to performing, but you're actually willing to take more and more risks whilst performing, and to do more daring things and make things even more extravagant. So it's a slow process, but again, it's just doing it again and again and again. And it's that idea, practice makes permanent. You keep practicing the art of performing, which is different to the art of practicing. It's different to the art of just playing by yourself. It's actually playing in front of an audience. That's an art in itself that can't be trained unless you just go through it, which is a painful thing to do, but you just have to do it. But yeah, anyway, that's my 2 cents, guys. I've got a lot of performances coming up this year, which I'm really, really excited for. There'll be more videos like this coming shortly. I've got a new mic as well that I hope has picked everything up. I'll see you in the next video.